Hey, what's up, guys? Tuki here, back again with another episode of Project Tranmere, our Tranmere Rovers Youth Academy series. In this episode, we begin our second season at the helm of the club, and thankfully, as planned, the team this year is entirely made up of the players that we recruited in the first season. We'll go over the club again. Of course, we did in the last episode showing some stuff off, but we still have a little bit of time before everything is set in stone. We have a little bit more scouting to do, a little bit more training. So we'll take a look at the club once the opening day is here, even beyond the preseason tournament. So the main things that we need to do, first and foremost, before I even forget, I didn't look at the other scouting report from South Korea. So that's the first thing we have to do. Andrew Ennis, who did you find for us? And unfortunately, it's not looking that good. Tong Hyun Chin is okay. 6'6". Damn. And what about Ryu? Not bad either. Do we have space for them? We don't. Okay, let's double check this, because we do have, someone like Ed Jackson here. That's a tough one, of course. Right now, the Youth Academy itself is still looking pretty good. I think I might hold off on signing either of the two for now, and we'll see how they get on heading into that final scouting report. I believe we have at least one more report from Croatia, Saudi Arabia, and Korea, so we'll handle it at that point in time. As far as our board expectations for this season, youth development-wise, that's pretty much a given that we'll hit that. I would assume, at least. Brand exposure, selling at least half of our home game. I mean, who the hell knows as far as that. No expectation of continental success, because, of course, we will not be involved. Avoid finishing in the bottom part of the league. That should be possible, but reaching the round of 32 in the FA Cup, that is going to be very rough. And within 2 seasons, we need to finish mid-table, which is definitely the goal. I'm not sure how soon we can really say that, we should be fighting for promotion, but we should be above mid-table within 2 seasons. And finishing with that profit margin simply isn't going to happen. So if we get fired, that's the reason as to why. I mean, you can see right now what we have with this current transfer budget and wage budget. Of course, we don't do anything transfer-wise, so the wage budget's looking okay. But aside from that, there's really not a whole hell of a lot to do. So when it comes to really getting things started in this episode, we do need to get to the start of the season. We have a little bit of extra time. Actually, that next scouting report should be coming in soon. So let's take a look here. I think I still want to improve Max Jackson, who's looking like our starting keeper for this season. If we could get him closer to a 70, as we approach the midway point of the season, I think we'll be looking okay, and he should be good enough to get the job done for us. We also have Hugh Mitchell, who, in fairness, I kind of want to train him up as well. We do have Diego Rodriguez, who's 6'7" Spaniard, still in the program, and then, of course, guys like Gibbs, Schenkel, Wharton, and even Elohuabu is going to be on his way out, more than likely. Eventually, again, sticking to promising player, that minimum standard of actually being worth developing, that's what we're going to look at. So, for the moment, because, of course, everyone else will see training time throughout the season, let's focus on these goalkeepers, shall we? Even Diego Rodriguez, who we may end up having to sign if some of the other guys are transferred out. So, no improvement for Jackson. Mitchell up to a 52, Rodriguez up to a 53. And I wouldn't be surprised at 17 years old if Rodriguez asks to be signed within a few short months anyway. So, for the moment, we'll go slow and steady. The World Cup is currently, or not currently, going on. What am I talking about? But there is international play going on that we'll take a look at. I keep forgetting. It's FIFA 18, not FIFA 19. You don't have the World Cup at the end of the first season. This is taking forever. Interesting. It's cool. We'll wait it out. What else do we got to do? I'll wait it out, EA. Okay, well, we got a couple of emails at least. Hey, there we go. Preseason tournament, of course, will take part in one. This offers the most money. So we'll go for that one. Why not? There's no way we're going to win, but why not go for it? And as far as the other emails, there we go. Okay, so Paul Mullen has left the club, which is fine. We do have a report available. This must be the Croatia report. It is. Okay, oh my God. So that's a hell of a way to start this first or final report from Croatia. Nemanja Dragicevic, I believe it would be. Jesus. 76 to 94, 6'4", 17-year-old keeper. Good Lord. All right, I don't think we're going to have to worry about whether or not we have strong options in goal throughout the course of this. Like, we're going to be fine. Unfortunately, I do either have to sign someone or outright release somebody. And in terms of signing someone, we don't have anybody that's all that close to a 60. Horatio Sanchez at a 53 was one of our higher-rated guys. Rodriguez is a 76 to an 82. He's going to be worth keeping and developing, more than likely. And then Ed Jackson, 73 to a 79, who is still useful to us. He was a 50 overall as well. Roberts is a 58, and again, he's going to be an amazing player for us, but he's still too young to sign. Max Edwards is a 46. Yikes. Sanchez at the 40. You know what? Horatio Sanchez, the 16-year-old Spaniard, congratulations. We'll go ahead and sign him up to sign Dragicevic. Franjo Jurisic, absolutely not. Oh my God, Croatia with the goalkeepers. Jesus. Milad Abelovski, 6'4", 15 years old, 74 to a 94. Holy hell. What are we going to do with all these keepers? Ed Jackson, I'm sorry, but you might be gone here because there's no one else I can outright release. Dragicevic is already good enough to sign. I mean, he's old enough to sign. He's a 55 as well. Abelovski also good enough at a 53 overall. And I believe he's tied with Rodriguez for a highest overall player that can actually be signed. So it's either I let go of Ed Jackson or I go ahead and sign Stepan Abelovski. And I will. So there we go. That works. Holy hell was Croatia. That trip was very beneficial for us. Jurisic, unfortunately, will not be signed, and we signed 2 more guys up to the club for this season. Let me actually double-check those 2 players. I don't believe, and I'm probably not going to be allowed. Now, I did go through this off video, we'll say, as far as setting this up. No, okay, that's good. Oh, yeah, so Abelovski will add to the loan list. And who else did I just sign? It was Sanchez. We'll also add him to the loan list. That's how the majority of the team is set up, with a lot of our players on the loan list, so we can continue to bring in guys, and hopefully they end up going to teams that will actually play them. So I shouldn't have done that, but that's okay. I do want to synchronize these reports. Transfer budget increase. That's promising. I think it's the 5th where the other 2 final reports will come in, and indeed it is. So now we can at least synergize that, or have them be at the same time. Synergize works too, I suppose. So the 5th will be the day that we get our reports back. Hello. Look at that. Almost $2 million. Good stuff. And we do have our first loan offer. Andreas Ferraz, one of our center backs. Of course, we do have a little bit of a weakness in defense. Fleetwood's interested. I'll see if it goes through. Hopefully he gets some playing time. It's a little bit risky to send guys out, but we have so many players already that we're trying to sort out. Final report here from the Korea Republic. Chin and Ryu. Okay, we do have others as well. Bang isn't going to happen. Rim and Sang Hyun Sip. Nice. Now here's the problem. Chin, goalkeeper. Ryu, not a goalkeeper. I'm so intrigued by all 3 of these players. Are there even 3 more players that I can sign that are worth signing and aren't terribly low in terms of overall? Oh boy. Again, Dragicevic is a 55 already. Let's go ahead and we'll sign Edwards. We'll sign Morgan, and we'll sign Sam Cox, because that was going to have to happen to begin with. We're going to have a lot of players just sitting here. Needless to say, a second team is going to be used quite frequently. So Ryu will be signed. We'll sign Chin and Sip. For now, we still have that final report as well from Saudi Arabia. Al Halou is not going to be signed. Zaki Mahmoud's not going to be signed. I guarantee one of these final 2 guys are going to be really good, right? Zaki Farai is okay, and okay, well, we'll sign old Zaki here or not. Oh boy, all right, right. Who's it going to be? Who are we going to sign up? Jesus, Chin's already at 57. I mean, he is 18, so that makes sense. The amount of goalkeepers that we're potentially going to have on this roster. Ryu's a 53. We'll sign him up. That'll make room for Farai. Might not be putting the right emphasis on that, but there we go. Our final few reports, which means we can now get set up yet again in some new locations. The big thing here is whether or not I want to risk firing anybody, which I think I do. I think Medeiros I'm going to let go of. I mean, we have that decent amount of money. I'm going to let go of Medeiros and see if there's a better scout available. Let's find out. And that backfired. That did backfire for the moment. There's a 4-star, 5-star that we simply cannot afford. Although, if it should auto-change the budget, right? No, I just outright don't have the budget to complete the move. Let me go back. Let me double check. Whoa. What? What even? Did I miss something? I mean, I know that the budget was... I mean, I know I had it way down there, but still... Okay, there we go. I was going to say, that's better. I was going to say, I thought it would have auto-adjusted. I'm like, wait a minute. Even though the budget, the budget increase came through, I thought it was still a little bit too low. Apparently not. Hey, there we go. Yeah, we're going to do that. Thomas Walsh out of Northern Ireland. We have a 4-star, 5-star. I'll take it, especially with him being 5-star in judgment. And I think we'll leave the other two. We won't go too crazy. So Thomas Walsh is going to be our new main scout. We're going to set him up in England for the majority of the season, which means Ewan Cooper is... he's going to be our serious scout for this season. So between some of the nations I have listed here, Brazil, Italy, Uruguay, Argentina, Portugal, and Switzerland I have in the more serious category. Oh, that's a tough one. I think, you know what? Let's go Brazil. Let's get one of the real serious contenders out of the way. And then Andrew Ennis, by popular demand, is going to Finland. By popular demand. There we go. D-pad's a little bit weird. So there we go. Ennis to Finland. We have a Brazilian scout, and Thomas Walsh will hopefully find us some more pristine prospects. Yeah, do I want to go with that? Too late. I already said it. I guess I'm going with that. So with that, we're good to go. I will see you guys at the start of the season, maybe. It's a tough call as far as where the hell do we even go next. And again, we should look at our new players. This has been a weird start to this. This isn't how I imagined it. So Abelovsky is medium low, 3-star, 3-star, which isn't terrible for a right mid. It's not bad. I'll take that. Sanchez, high, low, 3-star, 5-star. There we go. Horatio Sanchez looking pretty good. What about Ryu? Medium, low, 3-star, 5-star. The skills on this team. Now, of course, with the team being set up, we had to make that decision. And I'm not even sure if I still have as far as, do I play any games whatsoever? Just the important games. For the very, very important games, if I'm not playing, like if we're talking about a championship, do we just see what the AI can do, and then we highlight for them that? Still many options, but needless to say, if we end up playing the skill moves, we're looking pretty good. We also have Morgan, medium, 5-star, 3-star. Not bad. Cox, medium, 3-star, 4-star. And Edwards, low, medium, 3-star, 3-star. All right, well, needless to say, we're going to have to bump up that defense, buddy. I can't speak today. It's fine. So with that, I'll see you guys in a few moments. I'm going to set up the transfer list and everything with our new recruits. We'll make sure the team is set up and good to go for the beginning of Season 2. All right, guys, we're back. Opening day is here, going up against Yeovil Town. Before we get to that game, though, a look at the lineup. There have been some moves that we've made. You'll notice that our depth is not what it once was. We're also dealing with a couple of injuries, but this is the starting squad for Season 2. How do we feel about it? We do have Meyer up top as a 64, Jackson as a 63 in goal. There is a very defined weakness in terms of defensive depth, i.e., we don't have any defensive depth. So that's definitely going to be one of the things we hope to address with these upcoming scouting reports. We'll have one after this first game, but I'm intrigued to see how we'll do. Midfield-wise as well, not necessarily ideal. Like, Park does have the second setup as a center mid. Beggars can't be choosers right now. We are, for the most part, having to go with the best players available. That said, before we sim through this first game, I want to get you guys a look at the transfer history. For our club, we ended up selling Nystrom. Ended up going to a Swedish team. He was one of the players that we just had to sign last year, but he wasn't promising, and it wasn't going to happen. We actually managed to loan a player out. Jay Morgan, the American, is off to Lech Poznan. Divine, one of the holdovers from the original club, we sold him on to Bohemian. Ellis, another one of those guys, another one of the originals, is gone. Harris, much like Nystrom, someone we had to sign last year who wasn't going to make it. Newman, similar story. Caprice was another holdout as well. That's on the way out. So we got rid of some of the players that we needed to, like Caprice, Divine, and Ellis, and we got rid of some of the other guys that we had to sign last year that simply weren't going to make it. And seeing what the youth academy is already doesn't exactly make sense to hold on to them for that depth when we're going to have to sign players as it is. So we make a little bit of profit. Profit's not a big deal in a series like this. It's not like the ultimate goal is to end up buying Ronaldo, as we lose our season opener 3-1 on the road. Eklund, the lone goal for us. So not the ideal start. I will say as well, though, preseason tournament, which is something I didn't mention, we almost made it to the championship round. Almost. We got one extra game and lost 3-1, so that was unfortunate. And we have a Carabao Cup match coming up against Northampton. That's going to be interesting. That could be a winnable game for us. Be nice to make it as far into that tournament as we could. Toby Kelly will not be loaned out. The fact I've only managed to successfully loan out one player is pretty ridiculous. As we'll take a look, this is what we've been doing as far as training is concerned, just trying to build up some of these lower overall guys, just in case, again, we have to sign them, and they are a little bit more useful. So as far as anybody that we're going to be looking to get rid of as well, Vinsky, we're going to have to take a look at his potential in a moment to see where he stands, and Faraj. Would it be Farai or Faraj? Not quite sure. We'll see where he is as well. For the moment, and of course the goalkeeping situation is pretty ridiculous. For the moment, just for this week, because we don't even know what the hell this whole situation is going to be, I'm just going to train up Jackson. We'll add him to these current players in the mix, again, just to try and get him as close to a 70 as possible. If he hits 67, 68 territory by the end of the year without that much training, with minimal training, I would be quite happy. So let's go ahead. We'll sim forward this extra day, and we'll get back our first scouting reports, which, to be honest, scares the hell out of me because of how many quality players we already have. As Hans Newman, I think both Newmans are now off the team, as he ends up going to Dalkurd. Hell of a name. We'll start with Ennis. Why not? Top of the list. We start in Finland, and we get Aino Salo, 65 to an 89. Lord knows where the hell he plays. Jarvela is not going to be signed, and Tamainen will take a look, but we at least have one. Salo will look to sign him up at 6'3". I'm going to guess he's a keeper, which kind of sucks, but we'll see. Vinsky is a 67 to an 85. I think we can afford to ditch him. He's not going to make it, so we can get rid of Vinsky. Let me also check that other keeper. Amid, yeah, you're gone too. Sorry. So there we go. We at least free up a little bit of space. Let's sign Salo. And the only other guy to potentially cut would be Farai, and we'll take a look. So Tamainen will continue to scout. Cooper went to Brazil. Miguel Cruz, that's not going to happen. Ribeiro is not going to happen. Pedro Jesus is not going to happen. Felipe Silveira. Yeah, gotta sign you for obvious reasons. And that brings us to Walsh from right here. Oh my God, Ed Richardson. At 6'3", please be a defender. I mean, midfield would be a waste. Please be a defender. Let me double check Farai here. 66 to an 84. He is a center back, but I'm gonna ditch him. I don't think it's gonna happen. And as it is, we're ditching him so we can bring in another potential defender. Lance Bailey, 63 to an 85. Isaac Prince, 61 to an 83. Liam Clark, right. Harrison Green and Ewan Morgan. That's not going to happen. Prince isn't going to happen. He's a keeper. That's not going to happen. Harrison Green's the one I'm really intrigued by. Obviously, Liam Clark needs to be signed. And, I mean, Ed Jackson, I think your time's done here, buddy. We know you're under an 80. Yeah, you're probably gone. And as is, Diego Rodriguez might be gone too. That's a useful player for us if he develops, but just with the high quality. Actually, one of the South Koreans has a super high overall, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, Sip. 65, he's signable too. Let's go ahead and sign Sang-Hun Sip. And that'll make a little bit of room. And aside from that, yeah, this is where it gets to be tough. I think we have to drop Ed Jackson. Ed, buddy, pal of mine, I'm sorry. But we're going to make room for Harrison Green and Liam Clark. We'll continue to keep an eye out on Lance Bailey. So, Sang-Hun Sip, welcome aboard. Whether or not you're worth putting into the lineup, I will find out soon. For now, we'll actually get to make a little bit of progress. I'll see you guys probably, we'll go a month ahead, and we'll recap what happened in the transfer window as well. Back again, September 3rd. I'll give you a quick recap over what's gone down over the past month. Unfortunately, we haven't been all that successful. Losing to Yeovil, losing to Carlisle, losing to AFC Wimbledon, beating Stevenage, which was nice, and then losing to Grimsby. We also lost to Northampton in the Carabao Cup. So that leads us to this, where we'll be taking on Oldham Athletic in the Checkatrade Trophy. We'll probably get absolutely stopped, even though they are also in League 2. That said, a quick recap of what went down during the transfer window. We did end up getting rid of a few more guys. Wharton, Gibbs, and Schinkel, that trio of keepers that we had last season, are all gone. Anton Lindstrom is gone. Ollie Banks, and of course Hans Newman, you would have seen. As far as moves around the world are concerned, Dries Mertens to Valencia, Julian Draxler, Pablo Fernales, I believe it is. A lot of people on the move. John Stones to Napoli and Kramaric to Liverpool. Josep Martinez to Dortmund, by the way. Turning MLS success into a Bundesliga stint. That's it. This is our lineup. Of course, Sip is now by far our best midfielder. He's actually the highest rated guy on the team, I do believe. He is at a 65. So let's see what happens here. We'll be live for this one. We'll go ahead and sim through this before we get to our new additions. Let's see what we can do. Can we find any success? 3, 2, 1. 5-4 on pens. I'll take it. I'll take it. We advance. I will take it. I was very worried. But, scoreless up until extra time. I'll take it. Loan offer for Josh Wilson. Absolutely not. We can't afford to lose any defenders. Thank you very much. That said, we should have our report in before we take on Forest Green Rovers, and indeed we do. So let's take a look at the newest additions. Mr. Ennis out in Finland. Tamainen is not going to work. Antti Tommy is not going to work. We'll see if Antti Anton can be worth signing, and he may very well be. Here's the problem. Unfortunately, the other Finn that we have signed, Aino Salo, is not worth keeping around. So I hate to say that we're releasing one Finn to make room for another. We'll go to Cooper out in Brazil. Guilherme Alvarez. Probably not going to happen. Gomez, not going to happen. You didn't even try to pronounce his first name. You're damn right I didn't. Pedro Jesus, we'll see if Amaral's worth it. He is not, so Brazil hasn't been that kind to us thus far. And then we go to Walsh. Lance Bailey, not going to be signed. Reese Richardson is not going to be signed. Brandon Davies will probably be signed. Jay Bennett, not so much. And Declan Clark. All right, cool. So we have some players to sign. Now, here's the thing. Silveira, one of the few, if not the only Brazilian we've signed thus far. Unfortunately, he's what we need, but he's not going to be that great. So Felipe's on the way out. we are going to have to either release one more player or look to sign somebody. So we'll take a look. In fairness, Dragicevic, I'm going to try to hold off on signing him for as long as possible. We're definitely going to have to make that decision when it comes to our main two. I think we could afford to carry 3 keepers, but our main 2 that we're actually going to be putting the time into, I'll have to focus upon that. I'm mainly looking at potentials here, more than anything, just to see who is worth keeping, and they pretty much are all worth keeping. So now I'll try to base it off of overall, I suppose. Chin, I wish you weren't a keeper. In fairness, defensive help is probably the way to go, and with that, I think it's going to be Manolic who gets brought in. It's him or Grasso. Grasso can't be signed. Richardson could be signed. In fairness, Ed Richardson and Mario Manolic both are going to be signed because we need that help, especially if we want to try to balance somewhat of a second team, and we really don't have that defensive help. So we'll bring on both of them. We do have that game coming up against Forest Green. We'll see loan offer for Horatio Sanchez in advance. Why not? We'll see if that goes through. And you know what? We'll go for one more month to get that third and final scouting report in this episode from those 3 locations. So yeah, I will talk to you. I'll talk to you shortly. Our final update of the episode, let's get into it. The beginning of October, again, things aren't looking that great for us. We have 11 points through 10 games. For those of you who are like, oh, how bad is that in comparison? Well, the team's at the top of the table, 23, 22 points. So we're a little bit off the pace, but it is still so early on that anything could happen this season. I think the biggest piece of news for us right now is I've taken a little bit of a risk with Sip, who we just signed and who is one of our higher rated guys, but we're going to be loaning him out to Nuremberg in January. Again, a little bit of a risk, but hopefully we can train up some other guys as well. And with how many guys we're trying to bring in and trying to have the best of the best, it's a little bit of a risk. At the very least, if things are going poorly, we have the money to cancel the loan and to bring him back. So what we have here, we're going to do the update on the scouting. We'll decide where we're going next. We have a game here against Northampton, and then we have a tournament match coming up. I'm actually not sure what cup it is. Was it Check a Trade or was it the Check a Trade? Okay, I wasn't sure. I'm pretty sure we're out of the FA Cup. I couldn't remember if we had already lost that game. We definitely had. So let's see what we have going on here. Morgan, you might play. I don't know. I actually think he's in our second team right now. Whoa, why'd you bring me so far back? So we have Walsh. Walsh, buddy, what'd you find for us? Liam Harrison will wait it out. Reese Mason is being signed immediately. Dylan Thomas will be let go of. And Mason Evans will also sit alongside Harrison. So we'll see the updates for them. First up here among the 2 that are expiring, we have Moraes, who isn't going to be signed. Brazil hasn't been that kind to us here. Henriquez is not going to help that. Neither is Xavier. And Neves. Wow. So Brazil, one of the more serious locations for us to scout, just went very poorly for us. We will go to Finland and hello, Timu Aaltonen. Extremely helpful. Leo won't be signed. Aaltonen will be. Here's the problem. Actually, in fairness, we don't have to get rid of anybody else. I'm thinking the other Finn that we already have, Anton, isn't going to be long for this team. So actually, as a matter of fact here, just to make it happen before I forget, in the next episode, we'll go ahead and unfortunately drop Auntie Anton. But we do have at least one Finn who is looking like he could be a major game changer. That said, taking a look at the list of regions to scout next, for the quote-unquote joking category, we do have one that had some popular votes, and that is not going to be Austria. It's going to be China. We went to South Korea, and now we're going to China. And for the serious category, I think I'm just going to go in order here. We'll get out of South America. Let's go to Italy. Why not? Italy up next. Italy, China, and England, of course. That said, second team is going to be in against this Northampton side that will probably just dispatch us in brutal fashion. It's going to be bad. A draw here would be ideal. We're down 3 minutes in, and we lost 4-1. Okay, well, that went about as I expected, so I can't really claim to be all that disappointed. And let's see, who else do we have here? We're looking for people under 50. We're looking for people under 50 that we're not already training, and that might not be the case. So Altonen is a 53 to start, which is pretty nice. Reese Mason. Put a little bit of focus on to you, sir. So we get absolutely no improvement there. So that's unfortunate, but spin the wheel, you take the chance. Didn't really work out there for us. So what do we have office-wise, setting up the network? We will end this episode with this check-a-trade trophy matchup against Swindon. Hopefully the defense is good to go for this game. They might be a little bit tired, but that's okay. Let's see if we can get a win to close out this episode. They're in decent form. Let's find out what we can do here. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Pens. We lost this time. So we won 5-4 on Pens to get to this point. We lose 4-3 on Pens to Swindon, and we are out of every other competition. So our focus, at the very least, can now shift solely to the league, where, again, a mid-table finish is ideal, but perhaps this team can put something together. We're not horrifically off the pace moving forward. Guys, that'll do it for this one. Again, I want your suggestions on where to potentially scout in future episodes. I'm keeping track of every country, and the more I see countries mentioned, the sooner we'll get around to scouting them. Let me know as well. I know we talked about this before. Are we still good with the idea of just simming everything like we do with NHL, like we do with Madden, just letting it all play out and seeing what the team can do? It's just our job to hopefully make the right moves at the right time, find the right personnel, and make the most of developing said personnel. But yeah, that'll do it for this one. You know the deal. Support the video, support the channel, check out everything in the description, and hit that stupid bell. And I will see you guys in the next one.